Hi, my name is Brett Reichert. I'm a doctoral student at Ball State Educational Studies Department. My main focus is the Cultural and Educational Policy Studies track. Within that, probably my main interest is the sociology, the history, and philosophical foundations of education. Probably more specifically, the history as my main interest. EdTech is one of my cognates and one of my interests professionally um, within my the scope of my current position, which is for National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. I'm a law enforcement liaison in charge of grants in the East Central region of Indiana. I take care of all the law enforcement grants through the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and deal with law enforcement agencies specifically and different community partners throughout the implementation of many of these grants. However, with EdTech, I don't have maybe specific experience in writing, um, but I do in the development and review of um, EdTech policy. I was a director of a police academy, and then also in charge of curriculum with a college in Texas for the criminal justice curriculum. Kind of went hand in hand with the police academy was part of the college, and my experience there was basically a review of the policies that we had and maybe implementation, certainly implementation of the policies, but um, maybe if some policies need to be changed or tweaked, it was my job to make sure that that happened. I did have a committee that the dean sat on, and that's who I would have taken changes or implementation issues to, and policy concerns to. And within that committee, I had chiefs and sheriffs in the area who basically were to help me and help the college keep things as far as our policies in line with what was taking place in the real world for the practitioners and law enforcement. One area and issue that's of great interest to me in this within this course is certainly with ethics, and not just the writing of policy and the adherence to. It would be crossing that digital divide and reaching as many students and instructors. I was in charge of instruction at the academy, so I would have. It was something that I really cared about as far as the instructors having knowledge and digital literacy and being able to implement good ed tech policy and procedure within their instruction for the students and the cadets, as we call them. So I'm very interested in how this plays out in the K through 12, PK through 12 scenario, as I have kids in K through 12, but I also taught secondary CTE law enforcement. That was a big stretch for me while I was a police officer. So I have several years' experience within the public schools of teaching in Indiana and in North Carolina, and know how ed tech sort of plays out within the PK through 12 scenario as well. So I'm excited to learn from all of you, and excited to find out what all in this course is going to be applicable to my professional area. Thank you and good luck to everyone.